So today we are going to build this game and train our AI to play this game, and then we'll see how AI plays it. So to build this, we don't need any tool, just a text editor and a browser is enough. So the thing is, if we use like text editor and browser, we won't be able to make it like modular. So at the starting, I will be using VS Code and as a IDE, and will write the codes here. And I have used one extension, HTTP server extension. So I will show that HTTP server. Yeah. So I have used this live server. It is basically HTTP server, so which will help us like build it in modular way. And at the end of video, I will show how we can like convert it without using any HTTP server, just with Notepad and browser. How we'll be able to run it. So let's get started. So I have like added few files before. So in the assets we have a few images that we are going to use for the background, and for base, for like birds and pipes. These images I have loaded. There is a index file. So basically this is the file where all the JavaScript and all the logic will actually get imported and will run from this file. So if you see here, it is a very short file. So we have a meta cat set, like we are going to use UTF-8 cat set, then a title, and then we have like the styles that is defined in style.css, so that we are importing. And we are importing one JavaScript library for neat JavaScript, which will be used by AI to learn and evolve. And then there is another script file, that is main.js, where we'll actually write our JavaScript logic. And then I have added two buttons, one button, if we click this one, actually our AI will get trained. And then once training is done, we can click on this button to like watch AI playing this game. And then the main thing is canvas. So basically canvas give us the area on which all our objects can be rendered. So this is pretty much in this HTML file. And then from the style, we do not have much in the body, like we are using the flex display, and in column direction it's very basic things. The background color like black color will use by default. And then we have some setting for canvas, like by default we'll use some bluish color, and we'll add a border. So let's get started, add our first file, and then we'll start writing the logic. So I will add main.js, not in the asset. So let's select this one and add main.js file. So this file is getting imported in our index.html as a module. So if we import as a module, means we can write actually modular code and use import export functionalities. So let's close this one for now. We can close this one as well, or let's skip it. And here we'll write our logic. So the first thing that we have to write is so we have two buttons here, so we'll bind these buttons with the click event handler, so that whenever we click on this button, some event is triggered. So we'll do that first of all. Okay, so let's go to main.js. Let's add document dot get element by id, get element by id, and we have defined the id here, so we'll use this one. So let's say we get this element. Okay, it's not giving auto, there is some issue here. We'll rename it to main.js. Okay, now it will give proper formatting. And then we'll add event listener. Add event listener, and the event that it will listen to will be click event. and then let's say whenever this click event happens, we'll call some method. So let's say for now the method name will be train AI. We'll like create these methods shortly, and let's add event handler to second button as well. So whenever let's say this run AI button is clicked, so let's add it here. Whenever this is clicked, let's say we'll invoke run with AI method. Okay, so event handler is added. Now let's create these two methods. So we'll create here function train AI. So whenever we click the first button, this method will be called, and whenever we click the second button, let's say function run with AI, so this method will be called. Okay, for now let's add console.log running train AI, and in the second method, let's see, let's add running run with AI. Okay, now when we have like live server, here we'll get an option to go live, and if I click on this, it should create a server like a server instance, and it will launch this application on that port. So let's say I want to open it with this. So here our application is started. This is the canvas that we have initialized, the two buttons. And if I go to inspect and console, there are few issues, but anyway, if I click on train AI, I can see running train AI, and if I click run with AI, I can see running run with AI. So these methods are tagged to the button. Okay, so for now what we'll do is we'll add our basic setup for the canvas, and we'll render the our basic game objects on the canvas. So first of all, let's initialize our canvas here. So again, we'll do similar way to get the canvas instance. So let's say document dot get element by id, and if you see, we have id for canvas, and that id is also canvas. So let's copy this. So with this we'll get a instance of uh, our canvas. So let's say it's const and save it into a variable. Now from this canvas we'll get like 2D context, so we can draw the 2D images on this canvas. So let's say canvas dot so it's not suggesting, so let's type it manually. So we'll have get context, and we want 2D context, so let's call it const ctx. Okay, and then let's give some height and width to our canvas. So let's say width, and we'll give some value, and then canvas dot height, and we'll give some value. Okay, what we'll do is we'll create one more file, let's say settings.js, and we'll write all our like configuration and settings here. So what we'll do, export this const, let's say settings, and we'll add all the values here. So first of all, let's say window width 500, and say window height, let's initialize it to 650. Let's add comma here, and use this two variables here. So when width, let's see if it suggests no. Okay, so let's try to import the settings first. Import star from dot slash settings dot js. Okay, it's not coming this way. Let's give settings. So you cannot import a start because it is not a default export here. So we'll import this way. Now we can use this and refer to the variables that is inside that. So let's give settings dot, let's say win width, and here we'll use settings dot win height. Okay, so our canvas is initialized. Now if I go to the browser, let me close this one now. You can see the canvas is here, but some part is being cut. So what I will do is we'll reduce the height a bit. So let's say we'll use 600. Now if I see, everything is properly fit on the screen.